Hey everybody, before you listen to this week's episode of Bad Movie Date Night, I wanted to take a second and thank all of the people who have continued to listen to us through the last year in this weird period where we haven't uploaded as many podcasts as we had hoped. We spent the last few weeks or so making tweaks to our current format and our audio, and we'll be ready to unveil everything to you on August 2nd. And contrary to what I say at the end of this episode, we are on Instagram and Twitter, and you should definitely go check us out at Journey Into Film, so you don't miss out on anything coming down the pipeline. Again, that's at Journey Into Film. So until then, we hope you enjoy this episode on Killer Workout.
What is that? What is that? What is it?
They're eating her. That wouldn't do at all.
Not the beast!
And then they're going to eat me.
This isn't plans 1 through 8 from outer space.
Not the beast!
This is plan 9.
Oh, hi, Mark.
This is the one that worked.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa! Exterminate all man animals!
I'll have my revenge, and Deathstalker too.
I don't think you're pretty anymore.
We're going to do this?
Let's do it.
It's only been how many weeks since we recorded?
How many months?
And no new episodes have been released.
I know, and we have so many. You're just sitting on them.
I know. I need to stop being lazy.
And get those podcasts out.
Yes. And before, when we were planning on doing April Fool's Day, it would have made sense. Well, I was going to release that one before the other two and say,
Right.
like, hey, we were trying some things out. And they may not have worked that well yet. And we're still trying things out. But now that we're not doing that, I'm just going to end up releasing this one. And,
This one first?
No. This one's still going to come after it. But who knows if people will still listen after, we've been trying to...
Oh, well, they're going to miss a good one.
They are going to miss a good one. This is the movie that we're talking about today, which we'll introduce in a second. It's one of the many times where we felt like we should have recorded a commentary while watching the movie.
Definitely.
Because that would have been more entertaining than trying to figure out the movie after the fact. Anyways, welcome to Bad Movie Date Night, the podcast where we attempt to take bad movies seriously, treat them how they should be treated, and we believe that inside every bad film is an overlooked piece of art waiting to be revealed. I'm Nigel from ajourneyintofilm.com still, and with me as always is my wife, Kaitlyn.
Hello.
And this week, we are talking about the 1987 slasher Killer Workout.
And what a piece of art this movie is.
It is a masterpiece. Originally titled Aerobicide.
Also a good name.
It would have been a great...
I like this one too, though. Killer Workout. Also good.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with the title of this movie. There are too many amazing puns and or approaches to conveying the fact that the deaths occur at an aerobics studio. I mean, look at that. Look at this poster on Wikipedia. You got Jamie up there doing what she was in the movie to do.
Right.
You got muscular guys and the detective.
Is that the detective?
It is supposed to be, I believe.
You can't really tell.
No. This... Kaitlyn, how would you describe this movie to someone?
It was amazing. It was everything you want in a enjoyable film.
But like,
if I had to give him a little synopsis.
yeah, like what is your short hot take on this movie?
I would say it is about a whole bunch of people who die in a workout studio.
Specifically an aerobic studio.
Right, but they also have weightlifting because there's people that die from that.
Yes, there are.
I mean, I think that's it. That's all the movie has. I mean, that's what it's there to do.
There are no less than 5 aerobics workout sequences where it's just music and women doing aerobics in 80s aerobics attire.
Which is like something we should bring back.
I'm not going to disagree with that. But like, even if you look at all the pictures from it, it's like all of the close-ups from the aerobics, plus like some of them. Actually, one of the pictures spoils the ending of the movie, which I think is kind of interesting. Like the big reveal of who is killing people. But like even in the midst of all of these pictures of things happening, like it's still primarily pictures of aerobics. Like this movie was probably 50% aerobics. And you would think that we're going to say 50% plot. It was probably like 10% plot, 40% kills.
Okay. What do you think the pitch was for this movie?
What do I think? I really think that the pitch of this movie was we're going to have a serial killer in an aerobic studio.
Because, like, I'm imagining in the 80s, like, maybe aerobics was really, really big.
Which it was.
Okay, so they were like, this is a really hip thing. Girls like to, come in, do their workouts in their ridiculous outfits.
You probably feel safe at a gym because you
Right.
got these muscular men walking around.
Okay, so he was like, so I'm going to propose killer comps. Okay.
I'm going to flip the safety on its head and show you that even people who exercise can't save themselves from death. This movie was directed by David A. Pryor, who also wrote the movie, and he does not have many known works to his name.
This was kind of his niche, but he probably, aerobics stopped becoming a popular after this. So.
I mean, a lot of his movies seem primarily to be like testosterone, shirtless, muscular guy with guns type stuff more than like slashers.
Okay.
Like literally one of his movies is called Double Threat, and the cover of the movie is a gun. It's a film strip turning into a gun with a shirtless man and two scantily clad women standing next to him. He also has Hostile Environment, which in this case, it's a woman holding a gun.
Oh, diversity.
And two men who very clearly have tank tops and large muscles. So if that kind of gives you like his wheelhouse of like what he makes, which it definitely, you can kind of tell that that's like what he focuses on.
Yeah.
Like the human body at its peak, stereotypical peak.
He likes to be in shape. I wonder what he looks like. Is he in shape?
I don't know. I don't think there's not a picture of him.
Yeah, he's probably not.
That's exactly what I would imagine. Let's see. So it stars Marcia Karr, David Campbell, Fritz Matthews, Ted Pryor, Teresa Vanderwood, and I don't recognize the name of any of these other characters, so they're probably not that important. So that just goes to show you that this is
A great film.
Is a great movie because nobody went on to do anything else. Obviously, this came out at the height of 80s horror. It was probably capitalizing on literally everything. You know, this movie is unique in that this is the first time that I've seen anyone killed with a giant safety pin.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen another movie use a safety pin as a murder weapon consistently.
I mean, when we say safety pin, like, not...
Like, giant safety pin.
Yeah. Like, would you say, like, soda can size?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good size.
That's
yeah.
probably the closest comparison to it. Now, while bigger than your average safety pin, obviously a safety pin's not that large, so you're going to have to stab someone multiple times.
Right. Not really my choice of a murder weapon.
No.
But
if it's also your key ring, then I guess, you use what you have around you.
You don't want to go buy a murder weapon?
No, because that's too suspicious. You just use what you already have.
Okay.
And if you're a woman, in the case of this movie,
You have a giant safety pin as your key ring.
Yeah. And
Not the letter opener, though. That was very sharp. That stab through that apple in a
Yeah,
second.
that seemed like an odd choice. Like, very clearly an attempt at like a red herring.
Yeah.
But we already knew that she was using the safety pin. So that was interesting. Here's a question. Kaitlyn, we've seen the first installment of the In Search of Darkness 80s documentaries. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this movie deserved to be on that list?
Yes.
Yeah.
1000%.
Like, do you think that this movie deserves more recognition?
Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't have a bigger cult following. I think that it does everything that everyone loves 80s horror to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it had the only thing that like cliche that it's missing is it doesn't take place at a summer camp.
True.
Everything else is there. I mean, and it's like not a man killer, but you know.
Hey, maybe it was following more in like a Dario Argento Giallo footstep by having a female.
Maybe that's why I liked
murderer.
it so much.
Because you like when women are the villains.
Sometimes, yeah.
So not only do you find the villains more attractive than the heroes, you also like when women are not the heroes.
No. Maybe.
So, okay.
This movie has everything.
Yeah.
Because it has like some really great kills. It has a fight sequence.
Arguably my favorite kill is, we'll talk about the fight sequence. Arguably my favorite kill is the tanning bed.
Yeah, that was
which
a good
isn't
kill.
even connected directly to the murders. That's just
No.
kind of what starts the whole movie.
It has an amazing soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack in this was awesome.
It was so good. It has your typical like change of pace when the killer's on, getting ready to kill. It's got your jump scares.
Got a couple jump scares.
It literally has everything that you need to make a good 80s slasher. Boom, has it.
And the killer gets away with it.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So, all in all, great film. If you like 80s slashers, you should go watch this one, and it should have a cult following because it's very good. I mean, I would say it doesn't have much of a plot, but the plot that it does have is enjoyable.
It's pretty
I
much,
could follow it.
It's pretty much just to be fair, we had a lot to drink when we watched this, so we needed something that was easy to follow. This movie was brought to you by margaritas. A whole pitcher full between the two of us.
It was a good movie.
It was a great movie. Should have recorded our live commentary. What would you say? So, yeah, the plot is very thin. It's more so just people appearing to be killed or like eye candy for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And, what else can you ask for? If you're looking for a horror movie that's just like an hour, and I think this movie is like only like an hour and 20 minutes. Like it really is not that long. Yeah, hour and 25 minutes of just people dying with some aerobics in between, and then a plot twist, and then another plot twist. This movie's for you.
Yes, it is.
So let's talk about a couple different things. Because I would say overall, there's not much to contribute to the makings of a good movie in here.
Right.
The screenplay is poor.
Yeah.
I do remember saying to you, there were a couple moments where characters would say things, and I was like, that was a good line of dialogue. But then it was surrounded by like 10 minutes of just stereotypical crap.
Right.
I really wish that I could remember what they had said. We really need to start taking notes during this anymore. The detective was incompetent and wasn't really part of the movie.
I don't know about that. I feel like he was part of the film. Or no, maybe I'm thinking about that the guy they hired.
The private detective?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
He was, yeah.
He
You're right.
did a better job than the actual detective did,
Yeah.
but even he was like, okay.
He wasn't great at his job. I'm not saying he was good at his job, but he was involved. I mean, to the point where he's sleeping around with the people who go there to work out, but he was involved.
Yeah, so let's just kind of highlight some plot points real quick. And then we can talk more about characters and stuff. Because I do feel like I have the makings for a good conversation about this. The movie starts with this anonymous woman who literally purposefully has her head turned away from the camera in every shot. Even when it is unnatural for her head to be turned away from the camera, it is. Because you don't want to know who this person is.
Right.
And she gets a call that she's in a modeling job after already putting food to heat up in the microwave. And instead of waiting for her food to be done, she just leaves because she decides she needs a late night tan to prepare for this modeling job.
Your 24-hour tanning salons.
Right. She gets into the tanning booth and it blows up.
Yeah.
Well, it burns her alive.
Does somebody kill her?
That's a valid question because it seems like the machine malfunctioned.
Right. But
It also seemed like sabotage.
yeah.
Like somebody called her and said, "Hey, you've got this modeling job," knowing that she was then going to go get a tan.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think she was sabotaged.
We'll go with it. So then we cut to 5 years later. There's this workout place. People start dying. This new guy, Chuck, shows up. And he's asking questions. And not really doing his job of being a fitness instructor. Like, you remember he
Are
gets
you
in
talking about the guy that shows up
the private detective?
and he takes out the trash and then just leaves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up for work. Rhonda owns the place. It's called Rhonda's Workout. She gets mad that her partner hired this guy
Yeah, without talking to her.
Probably justified, but
Right.
whatever. You do what you got to do. She gets mad at him, won't let him teach any classes, so tells him to take the trash out. And while he does, one of the other fitness instructors, I think Jimmy, there were two instructors in this that looked very much the same.
Yeah, it was hard to tell like anyone apart in this movie.
Yeah. Jimmy and what was the other guy? Tom, maybe?
I have no idea. I do think his name starts with a T though.
Yeah. Either way, one of them shows up, gets into a fight. Tommy.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Tommy, Jimmy.
Sure. I'm just going off of the cast thing. Jimmy's the only one I remember because he was the only one who was important later. Mm-hmm. Chuck, this new hire, gets into a fight with him in the middle of a parking lot. And while one of the girls is leaving.
Doesn't he try to hit him with his car?
Yeah, he does try to hit him with his car, like as he's leaving. Like this guy, this fitness Jimmy shows up as if he's gonna work his shift, and then gets in a fight and then leaves.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of.
Well, yeah, and remember the first scene that we're introduced to the one girl?
Jamie,
she shows up and she's like, "Sorry, I'm late for my shift." And then she's like, "It's fine, just start cleaning up and turn off all the lights." It's like, how late for your shift were you?
Yeah, she got
there at
that
the
point,
end of the, why even bother?
Yeah, at that point, it's, you haven't shown up for your shift at all.
Oh my goodness.
So Rhonda is you know why, just saying it right now, you know why Rhonda probably snapped? Because no one was working their shifts.
Right, she had to pick up all the slack.
Yeah, I would justifiably kill everybody.
Right. Or fire them.
Well, fire them. I wouldn't kill them. That would be bad.
I feel like there's other steps you could do before murder.
Yeah, murder is obviously a last resort, I guess.
Firing them would be a better start.
Firing them or setting them on fire. So, yeah. So and then Chuck leaves with one of the girls in the aerobics class to like have sex with her at her house. But I think he like shows up at her house, she puts on a robe, and then he leaves
After making a phone call.
after making a phone call on her phone that was in her backyard.
That was clearly not plugged into anything.
Right. So this movie predicted cell phones. Yeah. So then through weird circumstances, the the detective finds out that it's Rhonda, but then they catch Jimmy committing murders and they're like, oh, I guess Jimmy did it. But then the detective's not convinced, and so he takes Rhonda out into the middle of the woods. I don't know why he took her there, because she very easily overtook him and murdered him.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming she buried him out there.
Why did he even take her out to the woods?
Great question, but it made her job very convenient.
Yeah, she was like, this worked out for me.
So, but the important thing, and this is where I'm going to ask you a question. The important thing is Rhonda was the girl from the beginning of the movie in the tanning booth. And her name was Valerie, and she was burned alive, and she has burns covering the entirety of her body. But conveniently not her neck.
Right, not neck or face.
But not her face. Just the back of her head so that she can wear a wig.
Right.
And her body from the neck down so that she can wear sweaters and cover up her burns.
Right.
And the implication is that she started killing people because she felt unattractive compared to all of the aerobics people in the movie.
That's what I understood, yeah.
So I guess this is where we can dive into, like, if this movie has any depth. Because, obviously, something very traumatic happened to her.
Yes.
Like, how do you think, or, like, why did she snap and start killing people? Like, what leads somebody to that point?
I think, like, she was probably so bitter. Because, like, she had to find a new career, too. Because, like, she can't be a model anymore.
Yeah.
So she had to, like, give up her life. She had to find a new career. She sees all these pretty, like, other people walking around. And she's, like, just bitter. And she just snaps.
Do you think she tried to find modeling work after?
No, I think she, like, immediately was like, I know I have to do something else. I can still make my body look good, but, like, by staying in shape.
But I gotta cover it up.
But I gotta cover it up. And then she's getting mad.
I guess that makes sense.
She seems like she was antisocial before it happened, too. So I think she, like, stayed antisocial after. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I wonder how many people out there
Resort to murder after being burned all over their body? Like in real life?
In real life.
Actually, that's a good question. Remember that movie, The Burning, where the camp counselor, they played the prank on him and the prank went wrong and he burned alive and then he started murdering people?
Right.
Didn't he escape from a mental facility? Why did they assume that, I guess you're burned alive, you go to a mental... Why wasn't she in a mental facility then?
She was burned
for being burned alive.
I don't know.
How many people survive being burned alive?
Yeah, because I don't think she should have survived being... She was trapped in the tanning bed.
Yeah, I don't know what a 1980s tanning bed looks like, but this was basically a coffin.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looked fine. I mean, it didn't close all the way.
I mean, they don't now.
Right,
So
I think it looked fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I feel like compared to tanning beds today, that one seemed more dangerous and less escapable.
But it was the 80s, so...
In the 80s, they weren't worried about exploding tanning beds like we are today.
Right.
Actually, they probably redesigned tanning beds after seeing this movie.
Right. They're like, we can't
How can a movie
happening.
be bad if it contributed to the safety of tanning beds?
Right. But now, actually, no, Nigel. She was... Nigel, I feel like we should have watched this movie again. She was. Someone did try to kill her because remember we see that hand?
Do we see a hand?
Yeah, we see a hand.
Like, do what?
I think it like did something with like bashing the thing.
But she didn't react inside the thing when it was
I don't
bashing.
remember.
It just,
I know we saw a hand though.
are you thinking about the hand, like her gloved hands when we see them later?
I'm not certain. Now I have no idea.
Am I making you second guess everything?
Yeah, I'm starting to question everything. Did I even watch this movie?
I don't know. Sometimes I think that we should just play the movie in the background while we're talking about it.
That's
so
not
we
a
have
bad
like
idea.
things to talk about. But
I can't remember what. I feel like I remember seeing a hand though. Because I really feel like she was murdered. I feel like she was murdered.
I don't know. I guess we're going to find out here in a second. But, like, what makes you think that, what percentage of people do you think, like, start murdering people after
Something
being
traumatic
vandalized?
happens to them?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
We're just talking about trauma
well,
in general?
yeah, now
like,
I just kind of want to know, like, trauma in general.
Yeah.
How many people would, like... I guess maybe I thought she was murdered because of, like, the point of view.
Yeah, because, like, the camera shot, like, it kind of slowly glides in on it. Again, still very awkward that her head is turned away from
Right.
the camera. But, you know, what do we know? So...
maybe she not.
Yeah, see, it just kind of... The control panel just, like...
Malfunctions and...
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but I guess, like, if you're making a tanning bed that looks like that, it's probably...
Gonna malfunction?
Yeah, it's probably going to malfunction a little bit. I think the number of people who start murdering people after trauma is probably lower than you'd think it is.
I mean, I agree. I definitely
Because
agree.
everybody has trauma. We're not all going around killing people.
Right. I just want to know what percentage.
I would
And
say...
to what degree.
Of the people who commit trauma...
People who commit trauma.
The people who commit trauma, the people who experience trauma, I would say maybe less than 10%.
Oh, that's too high, I think.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I think that's like right in the wheel. Like, I mean,
because I don't think I feel like everyone in the world experiences some sort of trauma.
Right. So taking into consideration that that's like millions of people, like let's say 6%. That's like
maybe that's what the African warlords are doing.
the African warlords.
Yeah, they experience trauma. They are burned alive as children. Now they just murdering everybody else.
I like how this episode started talking about African warlords now.
That's how good this movie was. It's so deep. It starts getting into politics today.
Yeah.
What? That's a good movie.
Obviously, this movie is nothing new in the terms of traumatic experience. All of a sudden, I'm a murderer.
Right.
But it is kind of interesting because I think you do start wondering, like, why is that your next choice to, like, start murdering people? And why would she murder the men?
Yeah, I know. I didn't understand.
I don't
that
know.
either.
Maybe that was Jimmy, because Jimmy tried to take the heat for her.
Because he was, like, obsessed with her.
He wanted her and dating her. He wanted those things badly.
Yes.
But she did not give him the time of day, which is, I think, is understandable. Your body's covered in...
You're murdering people. You don't have time for a relationship.
Well, that, you know, you're shy about your body. You are murdering people. When do you have time for a relationship? Answer, probably never.
Right. They did not have to show us her body, though.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have kept that, like I get, like, okay, so we see the back of her head. That's
enough.
That would have been enough, I think. I think that would have raised a lot of questions, though. So maybe, like, a leg.
Yeah.
Like, a leg would have been good.
Or her arm.
Yeah, but we don't need to see, like, burnt boobies.
No. That was gross.
Yeah. I feel like if we started making t-shirts based off of things that we say on our podcast, we should have a shirt that says, I don't need to see burnt boobies.
But I was going to say that I just think that maybe she was killing the guys because it was like an extension.
Because they were attractive just like the women were.
Yeah.
Like
she started getting
traditionally-
into, different territories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm impressed that she killed that one girl while Jamie was there cleaning up and didn't,
No.
like, Jamie, obviously
when you murder
Jamie's not
with
that
a
smart.
safety pin, it's not that loud of a weapon. People probably don't scream.
True. I thought the girl in the shower did scream, though.
Yeah, but the shower's on, you can't hear
Oh,
anything.
yeah. Because water is so loud that it covers up all the sounds of it.
I liked the joke hand in the locker.
Oh, that was
kept popping
hilarious.
out.
I don't know who Linda is,
No.
but Linda
Linda.
had this hand, this like fake hand that would pop out of her locker door anytime she opened it. So like the first time you see it, you're like, oh no, like they killed a white girl instead of a black girl.
Because
the
there's
first girl
reasons.
that dies is a black girl.
Yeah.
And they stick her in a locker. So when they go to open the locker, you see this hand from Linda's locker. And you think, oh no, they got a white girl too. But no, it's just Linda has a fake hand in her locker.
That's hilarious.
I guess in case she ever needs a hand.
That was the best.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And like the detective was intrigued by it,
Yeah.
but he was also bad at his job. So,
yeah, he ended up
then there's that.
not figuring. I mean, I guess he did figure out who the murderer was, but he let her go very quickly.
Well, he accused her, but then Jimmy was killing somebody while he was with her.
Why was Jimmy killing someone?
We just talked about this because he was trying to take the heat for Rhonda because he was in love with her.
Who did he kill?
I think he killed Jamie. Because you remember at the end she was hanging?
No, I thought Rhonda did that.
No, because that was when they were like, oh, the killer has a different MO. Like they're like,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
How much do you have to be in love with someone to take the rap for murdering? Because I'll tell you what, if you murder somebody, I'm not taking the fall for you. That's on you, Buster.
I would not expect you to.
Right?
I don't. And Rhonda definitely didn't ask Jimmy
No,
to take the rap
she
for her.
definitely didn't.
She was very firm in her.
Yeah.
Don't like. I'm not interested in you.
Right.
I don't care how big your muscles are.
Right.
And
So how so he did it all willingly. So how much do you have to love someone to be like, I'll murder somebody so you don't get in trouble?
look, okay, I know that obviously you're in the mental health field, so I want to be careful with how I word this, but and I know it's not going to come out that way. But who do you think is more crazy? Jimmy for killing people in the name of love, air quotes on that one, or Rhonda killing because she's angry that people aren't burnt like she is?
I feel like Jimmy, because he doesn't have motivation other than he's trying to get someone's attention to love him.
Right. It really wasn't for attention though. It was just kind of to draw the attention away from her. It was almost like he wanted to get caught.
But I think also in a way of if I do this, she'll love me. If I take the rap for her, she'll finally be mine type thing.
But you'll be in jail, so why?
Right. I don't think he was all.
Yeah,
there.
I guess you're right. But but then on the other hand, you're killing people because you're jealous that they're more attractive than you.
That's just a selfish thing to do, but
I guess you don't care if you go to jail for that, or in the same way that Jimmy didn't care if you went to jail.
yeah. I don't know. Because I mean, but we don't know Jimmy's like past trauma, but I just feel like
It's a little understandable
Rhonda
that
has,
Rhonda
like,
was killing
yeah.
people.
she's got reasons. She's a burn victim.
Sure.
She seems just like that shallow though, as like she's a model, and like you get that phone call from one of her friends at the beginning where I need to borrow that sexy dress that you have, and
Yeah.
that shows all the skin, so you can tell she was very like vain.
Yeah.
And then I think she is angry that she doesn't look that way anymore and takes it out on people.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily get that impression from her, though, because she seemed so normal. Like, oh, I'm a business person. I own this business.
Yeah, it was her front.
Yeah, but she was doing it for 5 years. What was she doing? Just biding her time? Gathering?
Oh, I think she was slowly murdering people.
You think that she had started murdering people,
at the
like, right
beginning.
away?
Yeah.
And then it just
got
kind of...
escalated and she got caught.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's my theory.
Did you like how at the end of the movie nobody attractive wanted to work out at the studio anymore? Like they had all those fat people on
'Cause
the bikes and stuff.
you know you're gonna get murdered.
You think so? You
Yeah.
think they had no, like at that point people
Yeah.
were like, if you're attractive, don't go to Rhonda's because then you'll die.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't go there at all.
Do you think
But-
she killed everybody over time?
No, not everyone, but enough people.
Enough people to prevent them from going there anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
You like how that kid spray painted the did he I think he said like aerobicide, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah.
On
He
the-
sprayed he
yeah.
sprayed aerobicide death spa.
Yeah.
Which there
I
is a
liked that.
movie called Death Spa that came out a few years later. That is no relation to it.
Oh man, it should.
It should have a connection to it.
That would be insane.
Death Spa. Gruesome deaths begin to occur at a hip Los Angeles health club.
Oh my gosh, we need to watch this one. What
We
is it, like
should.
the same plot?
It sounds like the same plot.
Okay, sign me up.
It looks like the deaths are a little bit more gruesome in it. Probably has less aerobic scenes, so I'm not going to be into it. Do you like how this movie poster is just a butt?
Oh, that's
Strange
great.
things are brewing at the local gym.
That is just not a great tagline for a gym. Brewing?
Ooh, especially with a butt.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Can you guess what the tagline for Killer Workout was?
Oh man,
I bet you could probably come up with a pretty good one on your own. That's probably pretty close to it.
like something like this exercise will kill you.
You're not too far off.
What is it?
The actual tagline is, "This workout will kill you."
Oh, I was so close.
You were pretty much spot on. And then they also have something very unhealthy is happening at Rhonda's health club.
That is so stupid. Something very unhealthy. Okay.
We need to watch Graduation Day. I'm excited about that one.
Oh man. But I do think this movie had a great soundtrack. So I think that regardless of the film itself, the soundtrack made up for it.
Yeah. This movie, in a weird sort of way, had a pretty good atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
Like, not the best, but it definitely captured... Obviously, it took place in the 80s, and it also was made in the 80s, so it captured the spirit of the 80s in a way that I think a lot of things today feel disingenuous.
Yes.
Like when they do aerobics and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, go figure, the original is going to be better than an imitation. But not only do you have that, but you just kind of have... It's not like a scary atmosphere, but it is definitely... There's like some kind of intrigue to everything. I realize that I'm not making sense. I'm just kind of rambling more and more, but
It was very genuine, and it encapsulated a lot of what makes the 80s the 80s.
And a lot of what we think about the 80s.
Right.
Slashers and aerobics.
Right. And those outfits. Mm-hmm.
So, I think I've run out of things to say about this movie. This one was kind of short.
Yeah, it's a very short movie, but it's definitely like a must watch.
Yeah, this movie deserves way more credit than it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen slashers that are less fun to watch than this one is. And they get more attention, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
This one is definitely worthy of some sort of restoration.
Yeah. Because that one scene.
The version that you can watch on Amazon Prime looks like it was ripped off of a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Because at some point, like, there's all this aliasing and color nonsense and static and...
If you ever find this movie for sale, you should buy it. I'm talking to you.
There is a Blu-ray version of it.
Yeah.
But it's basically what we saw on Prime.
I mean, I would buy it just so we had it.
Yeah. I feel like that adds to the charm of it. All the VHS nonsense.
Yeah.
There are no real relationships in this.
I mean, everyone wants to be with everyone, but everyone hates everyone.
Yeah. I would say that the private detective is probably the one that got closest.
Yeah.
But really, that was a purely physical relationship.
Yeah.
Jimmy is obsessed with Rhonda, but she doesn't want to do anything for him. Obviously, I think the relationship takeaway from this movie is don't kill people if you're in love with them and they don't care about you.
Right.
And
you won't get anything in return.
Maybe don't date murderers.
Yeah.
If Jimmy wasn't killing people. And if a guy asks you what a zipper's for on your little jumpsuit, don't answer. And he is not interested in you for your personality.
That's a good lesson.
Good lesson. We should create a lessonalizer like on Solar Opposites.
Yes.
Kaitlyn, what are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know, but I hope we find a really good one to watch today.
Yeah, that's our goal. Right after this, we're going to go watch another one.
That's how sad our lives are. Or great.
Well, it's debatable. Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
I love our bad movies.
Yeah, well, we both love bad movies.
They're so good.
But we need to get better at releasing these instead of just recording them. Anyways, you can't find us on social media anymore, but you can head over to ajourneyintofilm.com. You can listen to old episodes of the podcast. You can read some cool articles in our defense of bad movies. And you can also listen to this podcast on your podcatcher of choice, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Prime Podcasts, Pandora, if you listen to podcasts on there. I think we're pretty much everywhere at this point. And chances are pretty good if you're listening to this, you've already downloaded us on wherever. So keep checking us out, and we're going to get getting more better at doing this whole taking things seriously. Because there's too much negativity on the internet, and it's too easy to criticize something.
Right? Just love what you love.
Just love what you love, and...
enjoy the films you enjoy.
Yeah. And we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Now go watch a bad movie.
Go watch a bad movie, tell us about it, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.